Good morning, students. Welcome to class 9 English class. Today I will explain you the poem Rain on the Roof by Kurt Skinny. Here in this poem, poet is telling us about his feelings during rainy season. So this is a very appropriate time to study this poem as the season of monsoon is there currently, as everyone is experiencing the monsoon. The poem reveals the healing power of nature. So first I will tell you the theme of the poem, then I'll explain you the poem stanza wise. So in the first stanza, the poet expresses his feelings by saying that how pleasant it is to lie in a bed and listening to the pitter-patter sound. Actually, the poet is in the hostel and he is lying in his room on a bed, and when he hears the sound of a rain, it inspires him to write a poem. So he writes a poem and he expresses his feeling in the first stanza that how pleasant it is to lie in a bed and listening to the pitter-patter sound. In the second stanza, the poet reveals about dreamy fancies that comes along with the tinkle of the rain. And in the third para, the fondest memory of his mother stood before him in all her loveliness by the pattern of the rain. Now students, I will read the first stanza. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter on the soft rain overhead. So this is the first stanza. Now I'll explain you the meaning of some words. Here humid shadow means the clouds. Shadows means clouds and humid means moisture. So clouds full of moisture. Hover means here move around something. So when the humid shadows hover means a clouds full of moisture are moving in the air over all the starry sphere. Starry sphere means night sky, sky full of stars. And the melancholy darkness. Melancholy means here sad. Sad. Who is sad here? Darkness is sad. Gently weeps in the rainy tears. Bliss. What a bliss to press the pillow. Bliss means perfect happiness. Second last line, patter. Patter is a sound of a music, sound of a rain that you experiences when the rain droplets fall on some tin shade or plastic shade or on a roof. When rain droplets fall on it, you can hear the sound. That sound is called as a patter. On the soft rain overhead. So this is the meaning of this verse. Now I will again explain you the stanza. When the humid shadow hovers means when the dark clouds full of moistures move in the air over all the starry spheres, over all the sky covered with the stars. And the melancholy darkness, and darkness is sad, gently weeps in the rainy tears, and the droplets of the rain that comes down in the form of rain, he refers them as the tears. And at that very moment he feels very happy to lie in the bed of a cottage chamber bed. Cottage chamber means room of his bed, and lie listening to the patter sound of the rain. So this is the explanation of the first stanza. Now I will read the second stanza. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their empty threads into woo, as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now here tinkle is the sound of the rain, and shingles is actually the top of the building. In Hindi we use the word khaprel. The shingles is the top of the coverage of the roof or the top of the building. So every droplets of the rain falls on the shingles, has an echo in the heart. Echo means a double sound. A sound goes and then come back. Already you have heard this word in your science. Has an echo in the heart. And 1,000 dreamy fancies. Fancies means imaginations. Imaginations comes in his mind. Into busy being a star. In his busy schedule, certain dreamies or fantasies or imaginations comes in his mind. And 1,000 recollections. Recollection means memories, and 1,000 memories comes in his mind. Weave their inner threads. Weave means when the weaving means as you have heard that cloth is weaved. One thread horizontally and one thread is vertically, that is called as a weaving. And so what he is weaving? Weaving the air thread, the threads of his imaginations into woof. Woof means again the imaginations what he is having in his mind. He weaves the imaginations one by one. As I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. As he listens, the patter means as the sound of the rain is coming, he is going in his imagination word, in his word of fantasies. Now here comes the last para, that is the third para. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers. Yes, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me, as I listen to the refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Here in the last para, the sweet memories of his mother comes. In the second line it is written years ago. Years ago means in the past time. And darling dreamers, here he is referring to himself a childish memory, the memory of his childhood when a mother refers to him as a darling child. And year means before she left till the dawn. And last word is the list. List means the listen. So again I will explain you the meaning of this paragraph. Now in this stanza, the poet introduces his mother. He says he is dreaming of his mother. As he had told in the previous stanza, that rain brings the memory of the past. In his memories, he remembers his past, and his mother loves him very much and considers him as darling. So he is remembering those days when he was with his mother. She would left him sleep till the day break. And poet says he can still see that his mother is looking at him, and the poet says as he listens the music of rain, he reminded of his past and he feels his mother is still looking at him with love and affection. You see the last third line, as I list to this refrain. List means listen and refrain means song. But here refrain means the song of the rain. So as he listens the song of the rain, he remembers the old memories, the memories of his past, and he feels the love and affection of his mother. So this was the summary and the explanation of the poem, and now we will be continuing with the other exercises of the poem. Now we will study about the literary devices of the poem. So first you see the first stanza. All of you put your eyes in the first stanza and we will see the rhyming scheme. Rhyming scheme is judged by the last word of the line. Like you can see in the first line it is written as hover. So you will write down A in front of hover. Rhyming scheme of hover is A. Spheres. The sound of sphere is different from hover. So here you will write down B. Darkness is totally different from the sound of hover and sphere. So the rhyming scheme of darkness you will write down as C. Now fourth line you see tears. So here tears word resembles with the second line word sphere. So the rhyming scheme of sphere and tears is same. So here you will write down B. Now come to the next line. Last word is pillow. Pillow is different from A, B, C rhyming word. So it goes D. Same way next line bed. Here the bad sound is different from pillow, hover, sphere or darkness. So it goes E. Next word is the pattern. Pattern it different from other, so it goes F. And then the last line, it is overhead, and the bed sound resembles, so the rhyming scheme of the last line goes E. So rhyming pattern of the first stanza is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Now we move on to the second prominent literary device is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is a repetition of a consonant sound which start with one or two consequent words. Like in first line you can see humid and hover. Sound H is repeated here. Her word is coming, humid and hover. In the second line you can see starry and spheres. Starry and sphere have got the sound of S. So here the alliteration of a word is there. Same way, now move to the fifth line. The word press and pillow. The sound of P is here, same. Repeating. So repetition is the alliteration. Consonant sound is coming, two continuous words are there. Then in the seventh line, lie and listening. L-I, both the words are repeated in both two alphabets are repeated in both the words. So this is the alliteration device of the poem. Now we move to the another sound, that is the onomatopoeia. In this, a word is used which refers to sound. You see in the poem there are many words which gives you the sense of sound. Like in the first stanza, the word patter is there. The word which refers to sound is known as the onomatopoeia. Now another important device is personification. What is personification? Personification is giving a human-like quality to non-living things. If you generally see in the poem, generally poet takes the non-living thing as a living thing. So such words are given the importance of personification. You just please see the line like, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Now who is weeping here? The darkness is weeping here. So darkness is personified as the human being. So the personification, so darkness is the personified. It is given the human-like quality. So these are the main literary devices of this stanza. So now today's homework is that two stanzas are left. You please find out the literary devices of these stanzas, and in case of any doubts or queries, you can inbox me or personally message me. Thank you. Have a great day. Stay home and be